An off day for the Philadelphia Eagles players, but not the coaches. So in studio, joining me, Eagles insider Dave Spadaro, head coach Doug Pederson. How's camp going, Coach?
Hey, we're off to a great start. You know, we've only got about four and a half days in right now, but you know, I'm really excited about where how the team came back physically, mentally, where they are. How they've been practicing. We've had 2 days of pads, and I'm excited for this next week coming up.
Interesting quote the other day coming from Rodgers from the Packers, who said that maybe not the best Packers teams in terms of talent won the Super Bowl, but it was the team that had the best chemistry. Do you agree with that?
I totally 100% agree with that. I think sometimes talent is you need talent, obviously, but it's how well that talent gels together, even with the coaches, players, coaches, and so I agree with what Aaron is saying. You know, that a lot of times team chemistry can carry a lot further than just actual talent.
So what are you doing, Coach, to create that chemistry and try to mimic what happened last year?
You know, really, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, that old adage. You know, I want to continue to remember how we did things last year. Still got to put in the hard work and the preparation. Still lean on the veteran players, the guys that were here to help in bringing everybody else along. And really just a mindset when we attack the field every single day is you know, we're out here to get better today, and let's not waste any moments, you know, when we're on this football field, coaches, players, and take advantage of that. And that's sort of helping us keep us kind of grounded and in the moment.
How do players like Mike Wallace and Haloti Ngata and Michael Bennett, veterans, they've been around the league, they've been with other teams, how do they integrate into the locker room? Do you keep your eyes on that? Do you hear from players? I mean, what's your sense of that?
Well, number one, they're veteran players. They've played a ton of games, and they've all been to the Super Bowl. So, you know, that they've got all that going for them, and it's just a matter of just them coming in and fitting in with the current roster, and they've done that. And it's really, you know, it's about our guys embracing those new free agents, those young draft picks, undrafted free agents, and really it's about everybody, you know, and not just the starters. That's part of the reason I think we had success last year is we were able to coach everybody at every position because we needed them, you know, as you know, during the season. So it's great to have these guys with us. They add depth, they add value to our football team. And again, excited to see where we go here in the next couple of weeks.
I know you want every single position to have maximum competition. Are there some positions that you really look forward to seeing how it all shakes out?
Well, you know, I think our young tight ends, when I say young, I think with Dallas in there, Josh Perkins, of course, Richard is a new addition, free agent. I want to see that group really take another step physically, you know, with the offense and mentally as well. I think it's a really good, talented group, and I'm excited, obviously, when we get to some of these games. I also look at our defensive backs, our secondary, our corners and safeties, and some of the youth that we have there. Sidney Jones getting out there, for instance, and getting a chance to compete and seeing where he is mentally and physically. He's doing a great job. He's off to a good starting camp. You know, and then another position is really there. I guess there's two more positions that I think of as running back and linebacker. With some of the young guys and some of the new additions that we have at those spots, just seeing and adding depth and value to both of those positions is going to be encouraging now, especially when we get into these live periods.
I look at Darren Sproles, Coach, and I mean, to my eyes, he looks like the same Darren Sproles. He's clearly a freak physically. What do you see from him, number one? And then this offense has evolved since Darren went out of the game. You know, Corey Clement is a pass catcher now and complete players here. How will you use Darren Sproles?
You know, Darren will be used very similar to what we did our first year and a little bit last year. You know, he's a tremendous first and second down back. He's a great third down back. He's a great punt returner. You'll probably see him a little bit as a kick returner this year with the way the new rules have sort of changed a little bit on the return and obviously the kickoff. So, you know, he understands where he is in his career. He's a big impact, obviously, to the success we had the first year and early in the second year. And he's hungry. He's hungry to do it again. He wants to be out there every single down, every single play. And obviously it's disappointing in his mind to not be in that final game. And so for me as a coach, that's a great asset that I can lean on in helping motivate this football team.
We talked after the draft, the team had drafted Dallas, had re-signed Darren Sproles, and you talked about the flexibility and the different personnel packages you can put in, and all of that was kind of on paper at the time. Now you've seen it. Do you believe that you have even more flexibility than you had last year?
I think so. Dallas is still learning the offense, obviously, and you can see him thinking as he runs routes or as he's blocking, and we got to get that out of his mind. We got to get him to where he can play free and loose. But I do think with him and Ertz on the field at the same time, and you throw Sproles in the mix, you got some matchups obviously that you can utilize and put these guys in positions to be successful and help our quarterbacks and our offense. So I'm really encouraged by where these guys are, where Dallas is, obviously. And so these games are going to be really important because, one, it allows their talent to show, to see exactly the player that we drafted and put them in positions to be successful. And then obviously as we game plan, later on, we get closer to the Atlanta game, being able to utilize these guys a little bit more.
Doug Pederson, a plug here for the American Century Championship. You finished, where did you finish?
32nd.
A big
overall.
jump from your first year. How was it playing in front of the crowds this year?
It was a lot better, a lot more calming. To be able to play in front of so many people, and it's just out of our element. We're inside the arena on the football field on the sidelines, but when these people are right there cheering for you, and that, you think you can just hit that ball that's stationary, but it's not as easy as it looks. I have a lot of appreciation for obviously the professional guys.
You had a great tournament.
Yeah, thank you.
And all the proceeds go to the Eagles Autism Challenge, right?
Well, the Sean Payton stuff goes
Yep.
to Eagles Autism, and then obviously through American Century and some of their foundations and charities. So,
State Line, Nevada.
It's a fun event.
Beautiful golf course. Congratulations. I know it was a great way for you to end the off season with your family and to get into football mode. So,
Thank you.
Doug Pederson, thanks so much for joining us here in studio. Thank you for joining us.